out of this day, we shall be grateful for your guidance, your manipulation, everything that shall happen this session. Be glorified and exalted. In Jesus' name we pray and give thanks.
Thank you so much, Venerable, for the prayers. Let me begin by identifying myself. My name is Stephen Yango, and I'm privileged to be taking you through this session this afternoon. If you have the order paper, this is indicated after break, agenda item number 4 on reports. We have quite a number of reports to be presented, and with me are those who are going to make the presentation. And the order of the presentation will be that there is one who is going to make the presentation, after which brothers and sisters will have an interaction. If there are questions to be asked, if there are observations to be made of this or that presentation, we will be given that particular time. Without much ado, I will call upon the first presentation of the report that is done by the Board of Finance and the Administration by William Barker.
Thank you for the computer. We appreciate that is my name is William Barker, Chair Board of Finance. And to start with, maybe I wanted to be receiving members to see what the Board of Finance members are so kindly requesting. So that the senior members who are the members of Board of Finance kindly just stand on your feet so that we can recognize you. Thank you, before this board, we were used to become associate executive. We came to know that the board we are playing or we are doing is the board of Finance. So we converted the Associate Executive Committee to the Board of Finance. So that is how we did the formation of Board of Finance. And immediately after the formation, the board saw it wise that the offices that we require as a diocese. The first office was the office of the Administrative Secretary. Indeed, all of us know these duties of Board of Finance for AA's position and also Manda's Union. And we are close to that. And we have what do you have? And the more we are doing other activities or ongoing, and discrepancies or differences in terms of salaries for clergies and the staff. So we saw the voice and we do regularization of the staff salaries and the clergies. To regularize the same, we refer to provision provision guidelines, which gives direction on the salaries for priests, catechists, evangelists, deacons, and also allocation of the allowances of the same based on educational level, years of experience, and also the responsibilities. We have documents from provincial guideline, but we are yet to finalize, but we will finalize on this one, because we noted we didn't have that standard salaries for our staff. So the board saw it to us, we need to regularize on this one. Some of the proposals we do is to adjust the salaries to meet the provision minimum basic pay, and as I said, also for the allowances. That is one of the agenda which is ongoing. We are to conclude that is salary regularization. The board also saw number 2 is reviewing parish quota. We have seen how we have been receiving quota allocation from the parishes. For example, for the year 2025, the total allocation we are expected to pay by the end of this year is 5.6 million. That is what we allocated for all the parishes. But as of October, the actual amount we received is 2.8 million. That is 50%. So that is what causes areas both for the allocation and the salary, which is our next agenda. So we say the ways to review, because if we are giving charges, maybe we can say basically we're here to pay 1.1 million, but for example, we pay 50%, that is 500,000. So the 500, that's an example. The treasurer is really increased. Our 100 treasurer will give us the exact figure of the same. So we've seen it's just we are managing the parishes. So allocation itself is on serving the purpose. So the board saw it was had to be reviewed this quota allocation. Based on parish incomes and capabilities. So the same will be shared by the commissioner on how we will propose for the year 2026 going forward. The other issue is on arrears. As I mentioned, both for if we are currently up to date, the total arrears for Garissa diocese, we are at 8.8 million. And salary arrears for scholars and clergies, we are at 3.01 million. That means if the parishes are submitting their quota or as allocated, we need to be having arrears for the clergies and the staff. So the board is proposing how the parish let us set the areas of the quota so that we settle the salaries, or we do away with areas, both salaries and the quota allocation for quota areas. So it is the board is giving the chance to the Synod and to guide us or to decide on what to do, whether we either pay the quota areas or we write off. So if we write off the areas, we also write off the one percent, 80 million, and also the 80 million. So that is one of our proposals to this year. The other issue is that it's about the changing of the auditor. The board of finance saw it is time we need to change the auditor because of the existing auditor giving us reports is delaying too much, and some of the reports we have seen it not factual, and we've seen it was to change the auditor, which we are proposed to change, which we approve, or which we decided whether to change, but we are leaving the reason is remain on the same. So in summary, that is the report of the board of finance. Unless the AS asks anything to add, because it's also human.
Actually, I do not agree with the 6 points we have the report of the board of finance. Its office has given that regularization of salaries for staff, which was necessitated actually by a disparity that was realized when we came to office and look at paying for the staff. In general, we realized that it lacks some criteria. Find that somebody has been in service for a long time, probably for close to 50 years, but unpaid the same pay that they started with some. I stand here just to give some flesh to what we already mentioned by the chair of board of finance. I would say that the need for regularization of salaries was necessitated by an evaluation that we made with the office. We realized that staff of work for us was maybe less, some even up to close to 15 years, but the salary by which they started the same at the same time, which shows lack of growth. At the same time, some came in and they were just put in, they were in the system with a figure which did not have a basis at all. We were asking, how did this person start with this kind of pay? Not that it's high, but we know that's not at all. And so it became a matter of a point for the board of finance to consider. The issue between of Polish quotas and allocations is, as he has aptly explained. If we do not do something about it, we will remain where we are as we move forward. That is why it's a matter that is there, needs to come to the city. Because what plans were being decided on and communicated to the parish, but they are just not able to fulfill, they are not able to meet. It's a question of doing the same. Then, related to that is the issue of the legal our revenue in order to be able to run the diocese. So on one side, you have revenue, on the other side, you have arrears in terms of salaries which are not being paid automatically over the years. Or the issue of the regulation. Having some challenges, the courts not coming on time, when you get the report, it's something that even me as a layman, I do not agree with. So we keep pushing, even today, there's a pushing. And we have it in this way, and we have this information in the report so that we can report with confidence. Those are our challenges that come with as well as adults, and we should hope that after we have had some discussion, we will be able to adopt a way forward.
Thank you so much, Chairman, Board of Finance, Administration, together with the AS. Members of the we've had a presentation by the Chair, assisted by the AS. Before I invite any reaction to that, it is in order that we first adopt the report. Therefore, we gain a proposal and a second terms. So, we have to mention the name and time now for the purpose of the records, and then we move to reactions. Proposal. Thank you, Mama Bishop. Please. For two is proposal. Who's second? Thank you. For 12 is second. Thank you so much. That is in order, and therefore I will invite any reactions to that, observations, comments, questions, pertaining what has been presented before us.
Yes. Yes. Can they also, when we are done after discussion, tell us what decisions they want this synod to make from the presentation? They can work. Thank you. It can be writing on that so that we can.
Any other reaction? Question? Yes,
Yes, just a small question on the place of the quarters.
I know that as a diocese, we meant to remit our quota to the province. We talked about, owing to the diocese, but are we also owing to the province? Quota that is usually sent from the owing.
We respond once.
Yeah, we respond.
Yes. Check the questions and look at
It's a basically based on our level. So, second question, yes.
My concern is against the Peterson number 42. With ideas. Probably since by the time you want to factor from 2004, the factor was gradually who probably and the left the diocese with ideas. That's very concerned.
Thank you. Next question, please. Yes.
remind them hata wajuma wanaweza kuingia
gentleman from on the road. Sijui ni swali nilikuwa nakuuliza kama iko na areas zetu kumaanisha your deficit minimums quotas and these quotas does it mean those who are interested in making sure that the quotas are limited and limited in time are not doing their work? Or is it that these people are given big quotas that they are able to meet? Where is the problem? Because at the end of the day, you have to weigh those people because the drug or whatever is supposed it's not going to go away because the workers, they work for money and for money. So it is up to us to make sure that we are paid in full. But then, where is this money coming from? If those people are not supposed to really this money are not doing their work. And if they are doing what they are work, does it mean you are given more than people cheap? Thank you so much. One more, and then the response is Dr.
The concern is about the auditor reports. Like the seller said that it was delayed, correct? I want to communicate to engage the auditor. The next about according to what I understand, the auditor report is a institutional document, whether it's available in the church website.
Thank you. I think we allow you to respond to those questions. Or maybe we allow more. Yes. Come on, come on.
Thank you, Coordinator. I think I want to respond to the question about the relief factor those who have left the classes in terms of the arrears. Yes, indeed, for the arrears, we factor in all the classes of employees who have left the parish, and also those who have been retired. As well as the arrears with us, we are factoring in terms of the arrears. I think that one is okay. This one. On the second last question, I think on the last question, yes, you are not the one who not responded. I will give you a chance to read. On the quota allocation, whether it is too big or we are not committed to a need, the clergies are here to respond or to give their views. And maybe they can say, because I think they are in charge, if they are given more, they can cheat. They can say, on the issue of auditor, though I also request the to respond. We say we've been providing the auditor with the information that he requests. I think for those of us who have been present for the standing committee, we missed the audit report because of the report. So the board of finance audit is narrated with the order, and of course it's not giving us what we expect from him or expected of him. So with that, we can please
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, our moderator for this session and everyone. I'll particularly look at the second one. Or let me just take it from the first one, the areas. In our areas, are we consider those who have worked with us in the years past? If the areas may specifically include that, the answer is yes. The next question is where were the people who work for the areas not good, okay, but the people who are tasked to be either asking for the quotas, were they not doing their job? There are two ways of looking at it. Were they not doing their job, or is it that they were doing their job, but the people who are supposed to run it have a too big a burden that they can bear? It is more of the latter than the former. The parish heads, the vicars are here, and they can confirm that they themselves at certain points in time were not even sure of how much the location was. First of all, they were complaining of what we call arbitrariness in the location. That some people sat either in the boardroom or in the bishop's office and said that you will be ready to ask maybe 600,000 a year. So you divide that 600,000 over 8, and then that is what you are expected to be doing in a month. But when you look at in reality, they are not able to do that. So that's why I said it's more of the former than the latter. It's a question of the parishes not being able to fulfill as per what was given them. That's why I said in my initial presentation that if we continue with the same, if we hold that concept moving forward, it means that nothing will change. They will continue to have that one as the target, and they will continue to remit what they are capable of, if they are communicated to us, and there we shall be. Lastly, on the issue of the audit report, as to whether we agree this is a document that ought to be in our website. But again, we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot. Why do I say so? When me, as a layman, I can look at the audit report and see that it does not add up, it does not make sense, how can I allow it to be uploaded on our website? It's like spreading our net in public. And that is why we have been pushing for certain things that we feel should have been factored in the audit report. There is something we are not mentioning here. We have not mentioned that probably in the past, if we did ask this, we were even being told at some point that there are certain debts, but those debts are not reported, are not appearing in the audit. So how do we go about that? Those are the issues that have made us go and make it slowly. The reason why we may not be on the website as much. But if everything was just okay, we definitely have it in our website. Thank you. There was an issue that Mama Bishop asked with regards to if we are talking about areas and we also talk about the areas that report to the province. The answer is yes. The details of the same will come from the budget, which will be coming later. Yes, and we will discuss the AGM. Actually, we have gone ahead, we put the cost before the cap before the cost, by bringing in the issue of the audit report, because ideally, the audit was supposed to come to the AGM, which is coming.
Thank you, Chair and the NS. I think we have responded to all the questions raised, right? Oh, I see Brother David was still raising up his hands. There were new questions or?
No, it's a bit of wanting to have clarification.
Or-
This is because we have been told that marriage is like the marriage of big different figures have been left discussed and left participated in deciding how much we should use. If that is the case then, how do we continue from here? Because if those quotas are still the same figures that we are supposed to use, do you expect difference? That's my area of concern. What about that?
all right.
What about that?
Yes.
We have our this obligation to make sure that we pay our debts. And we go from Kazimet, we can see what the this to do. Now that we are unable to limit what we expect from the parishes, how are we expected to meet those things in the absence of limitation of those funds?
I think you are done. Thank you. As you want to respond, or we take it that the Bishop here and say you are going to give us way forward at all this.
Yes, I think we can hold.
Yes.
We can hold on to that, the question that is asked. When we provide what we are proposing as a way forward, to make us out of the matter, then we can bring up that.
Yeah. I think that is enough. Thank you so much. Members, allow me then to take you to the next report or presentation of the next report. This is about Board of Mission by Venerable Joy Fiore.
Good afternoon, members of the Synod. Allow me to ride on the well-established protocol this afternoon. Today is Ben George William. By God's grace, I was appointed by the bishop to be the chair of the Board of Mission. So my report will be very brief because it covers the period following the consecration and the enthronement of the second assistant bishop, during which he appointed me to serve as the chair of the Board of Mission. So this report is my report because we are in the process of forming the Board of Mission. My report covers about 3 areas. Number 1 is areas of focus as a Board of Mission. Number 2 is about the diocesan, the statistic of Christian in our various parishes cutting across the diocese. Then number 3 is formation of the Board of Mission. So we begin by areas of focus of Board of Mission, and we look forward that upon forming the Board of Mission, upon this synod through the office of the bishop ratifying a proposal that will be bringing forth to form the Board of Mission, we shall look into. The first area is about evangelism and church growth, which is more or less of proclaiming the gospel in our region of the diocese. Again, being mindful of our context, and need a lot of sensitivity as we do this. In the same area, we also look forward of beginning various fellowship for church planting in various areas. For example, during the last visit of the bishop to Ajia Parish, we had quite a number of fellowship with the different partners, our brothers and our sisters from other denominations that we were conversing over other fellowship that they could hand over to the diocese to be able to foresee. The second area of focus is about discipleship and leadership development. It's about strengthening our discipleship program in our various parishes, in our various churches. It's about identifying, training, and empowering our already personnel that we already have. We have pastors, we have leaders. We look forward that we come up with programs and strategies on how to train them, empower them, so that they are able to be effective in their places, rather in their station. The third area of focus will be community transformation, whereby we'll be demonstrating Christ's love through practical community engagement. This we are able to do through education, we are able to do through healthcare, we are able to do through water initiatives. The second part of this report is about the statistic of our congregation cutting across this diocese. In this diocese, we have 9 churches. And these are the statistics that we have 8 adults and 10 children. We have ACK St. John Cassie, where we have 25 adults and 15. We have ACK St. Barnabas, Balabala, where we have 15 adults and 8 children. We have ACK St. Stephen Mondogashi, where we have 28 adults and 23 children. We have ACK St. Paul's Madogo, where we have 25 adults and 50 children. We have ACK St. Andrew and 15 children. We have ACK All Saints Church, where we have 60 adults and 55 children. We have ACK St. Peter Pro Cathedral, where we have about 250 adults and 100 children. And so, brothers and sisters, members of this group, these are the numbers of our Christian cutting across this diocese. And in real sense, you will realize that our numbers as a diocese does not add up to 500, or they may be thereabout 500 in total. No wonder the issues that was rising during the conversation about finance presentation about the arrears vis-a-vis arrears that are owned by the parishes vis-a-vis the arrears that they are owed to the clergy. Because all of us, we are aware that numbers translate to finances, stability of a parish. So, brother, those are our numbers in the diocese. We are grateful that during this fourth session of this synodical meeting, we welcome our brothers from the refugee Dadaab who are going to be part of our diocese. We must express our gratitude to the diocesan bishop for allowing and for bringing to us so that we are able to incorporate these brothers and sisters because they are going to significantly increase the numbers of Christians in this diocese. The last part of my presentation is about the formation of the Board of Mission. Since my appointment as the chair of this board, I have been in the process of establishing the Board of Mission Committee. And the following individuals are being proposed pending the ratification of this synod through the office of the bishop. The Board of Mission composition involve all clergy, the administrative secretary, diocesan departmental heads, the lay, the clerical secretary of the synod, and then the co-opted members from our various parishes. And the bishop also become part of this board. So these are the names that have been proposed, upon which we'll be looking forward for the approval. Number one is Ben Moses Njue. Number two is Ben Samuel Macau. Number three is Ben George. Number four is Reverend Albert Kasoke. Number five is Reverend Bismarck Munyoki. Number six is Reverend Dorcas Marie. Number seven is Reverend Clifton Sa. Reverend Peterson Joy. Reverend Rose, the ex Antoniamo. Lady Oliver Kamar from Olsen Swajia. Mr. Wilson Waiti from Banane. Lady Gibson Kiru from St. Stephen Morogashi. Mr. Bernard Wajama from ACK St. Peter's. Mr. Alfred Mutiso from ACK St. John Ukasi. Lady James Simeu from St. Andrews Mandela. Miss Lucy Wangoi from St. Paul's Madogo. And Miss Sarah Mawie from St. Barnabas, Banambana. These are proposals that we are putting forth for the approval for the formation of this board of mission. And finally, I would wish to express my profound gratitude to the diocesan bishop for the progress that we have been so far with next that mark the end of my presentation.
Judge Reno for that presentation on Board of Missions. Members, maybe before I put it for adoption, I request to be guided because my understanding is that it's a new board in place and there are also some proposals in it. So I don't know if it will be in order that we first adopt it before we agree with the rectify the proposals and the members' information. First, we discuss the members first, agree, then we adopt it once everything is in. We're really ready. Maybe I'll sound guided on that. Yes, was.
Let's accept the report. Matters rising from them that it's approval to the AGM together with AGM.
Thank you so much, Robert, for the guideline, for the guidance. So first of all, let us accept the reports, and therefore I'll request the proposal and a second to the reports. May I get a proposal to the report? Members, you are all listening to the reports? Yes. For the proposal. Second one. Sorry, let me take Peterson. Number 505. 505. 505. 405. I think I'll go to the person in charge of kitchen to draw the ratio. It's like, thank you so much for secondly. Let's take the reactions. What is arising? Observations? Comments? Additions? Yes? Oh, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Shia. I did hear Mr. Chairman, Venerable George, the all graduates are the members of that board of mission. I didn't hear President John. The other thing is just matter of correction. Lucy Wambui. It is Lydia Wambui. Lydia Wambui, not Lucy Wambui. So from St. Paul, Mandor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for that observation. Though I'm being reminded that once you see no flag, then whether you see your name or not, you're part of it. No. Thank you. That's what I like now. Thank you. Any other? I think you captured the other names. Thank you.
I also have just one thing to ask. From that report, I've not got it clear with the nafasi ya vijana in that mission work. So what do you have for us in this room as the youthful congregation of these voices? Thank you.
Yeah, let's take the questions. A number of them before maybe the response, or there's not a that. Any other question? Any other question? Reaction, comments, observation? Okay, so this
Thank you so much, Reverend John Wood. Your name as appearing on this list. However, I'm sorry that I missed to mention it. Secondly, the correction that you raised have been well noted. To the member who have asked about our consideration of the young for the youth, I did say that the board of mission of various category of people, heads of department. And the diocesan heads of department, we shouldn't look forward to having a department of mothers, department of men, department of youth, department of children. So all those heads of department, among which the youth fall, will be part of the mission, will be part of the board of mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for the response. Members, I believe we are all satisfied with the report presented before us. We appreciate the questions and observations we made. I believe they are well responded to. And therefore, I'll then take you to the next reports on our paper, and that is item number 3, Board of Social Services, to be presented by Madam Jessica.
Thank you so much. Our own bishop and the synod delegates, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Praise God. I'm Lucy Karini, by the grace of God. I am the social services and development in our diocese. I would be wishing to present brief reports on projects in our diocese. And first of all, I'll start with the organization development project, whereby we have rental houses at Mandogo. Rental houses at Mandogo, there are 6 units. The 6 units which are all occupied and doing well. We also have a borehole which is also supplying water to the whole rental houses under the 6 units. Then we also have travelers. They are around 850 and also doing well. The other one is a school at Ukasi, which is also on. Then we also have borehole, and also borehole at Ukasi, which is also functioning and doing well. The other one is a borehole water project at ACK St. Peter's Garissa, where we are now. We have just here outside, but the house which is behind the bishop's office, it's not yet complete, and we pray that it will be completed by as time comes. Then we also have the ACK St. Andrew's Mandela, whereby we have 5 rentals, which are also doing well. They are at least generating income into their parishes, and we thank God for that. We also have All Saints Wajir. They also have rental houses, and they are also doing well, and they are also generating some of the income for the parish. Then we also have ACK St. Peter's Portabentro, whereby we have rental houses, the 15 of them, and these 15 rentals, they also bring some income to the parish. We also have the school, whereby we have a school which is doing very well, and we have a number of students so far, 320. We also have teachers, there are 2, and teaching staffs, we have 6 of them, and also the 2 labors, the nurses. We thank God for that. Then we also have ACK St. Paul Mandogo, whereby the church has rented the land for the Bridge International School, and which is doing well. It's bringing some income into the church, to the parish. So, we don't want for the income generating projects across the diocese, and we also humbly request all the synod delegates to pray for the diocese so that the world will open up for more resources for income and also development across the diocese. In diocese. Invest more generating projects that will be able to support the mission work in our diocese. So I thank you so much. In case yes, I have something to add, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Chair, for the wonderful reports on income generating activities within our diocese, across our diocese. And I was very, very happy. I was really listening to her presentation. And when she was mentioning this project doing well, this project doing well, but when she mentioned the school at St. Peter's, she said doing very well. So I almost jumped because I'm the chairman of the school. So others are doing well, but this one is doing very well still. Still clap for me. Thank you so much. That is on my right front. Members, can we adopt the reports? Can we get a proposal and a second to the reports? Thank you. Imagine. For it. Second one? Forward 4. Thank you. Delegate number forward 4 for secondary. I will therefore take you to we will accept the comments, reactions, questions, observations you made on the report presented to us. Is there any question? Comments? Yes.
It means just concerned, maybe probably not to the board, though it is associated with the board. Probably, okay, because of 4 probably issues to do with the social services. Maybe it could have captured what we are doing to others, not necessarily the income generating issues or other. What are we extending the heart of to others, like what we just adapted at the start of the ceremony to the people that are at the others, and we have programs in our churches and orphans, and we have such things. So maybe probably next time such a report will be captured. That was my concern. How I want the ABS to it's ABS, I think, more part of the social services.
Thank you so much. I believe the chair is not a bad person. Thank you. Any other observation? Yeah, yes, my brother at the back. Kindly pass him the microphone.
Praise God. I thank the Bishop for allowing the youth of the city to participate in this synod as just observers. My concern is with the solar projects. Can we use the solar projects or future investments to cut down the bills of our electricity as the climate changes or the bills they are still inakula sana our budget the parishes, so we can invest in solar panels to power our using batteries instead of using Kenya Power.
Thank you so much. That's a very good proposal. I think it's well noted. Thank you so much for that. Any other reaction? Silence means we are all satisfied, right? fine. We need to respond to.
Noted. Thank you.
Thank you for that serious answer.
Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair, for the services. It is very hard to get us all in the same forum like this. And so let me utilize this to assure us in the forthcoming meetings, we shall put more fleshy reports than what we are getting. We did the best we could given the circumstances, but sometimes even the best is not good enough. And some of us would ask, why is it just, why for us? So I am taking responsibility that as we agree further and as we meet further, we shall give you reports that have, figures. And this, the reason why I'm saying that it's difficult to get us like this is because sometimes we really push to get reports. We push to get a report, but somebody is just comfortable saying that yes, we have this. Yes, we have this. But for us to, really report accordingly, we say, let's have it. What is its value? What is its impact? Does it have a child balance? Is it an income generating? How does it balance all together? Then together, report from that, all together will be our report. So I'm just expressing that today, our honorable members who have come representing the other parishes, that as we engage further, we shall actually require a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, One S. And maybe as a moderator, will add that we hardly heard your comments, but I will add that next time when that particular office is requesting for reports, let that office also receive the report prior to such a sitting, so that if there are changes you want to make, if there are areas you feel like additions required or this is not done rightly, you can correct before it starts before us. Thank you so much. Thank you, members. We move on. I'm now delighted to invite the ADSC CEO, Bwana John, to make his report. Alexander.
Thank you so much, Baba Skof Mama, and the session chairs and the Synod delegates. Good afternoon. I introduced myself, but I can repeat again. I'm toward the Synod delegates stand by the grace of God. I'm here to make a presentation on LSE, and I want to break my presentation into 4 parts. The first one is to paint a picture on Anglican Church of Kenya development and how we fit in that context. And then from there, I will come and come now home to ADSC. And then I will come to the Diocese of Garissa and basically achievement that we have achieved so far. I'm making this report on behalf of ADSC, and I'll be telling you who ADSC is. And the Anglican Church of Kenya is structured its development into regional organizations. And these regional organizations have been given autonomy when it comes to operationalization. In Kenya, we are 10 organizations like ADSC, 10. And we are everywhere in the country. When we go to Western, we have ADS Western, with offices in Kakamega, covering the whole of former Western province. When we come to Rift Valley, we have 3 agencies. We have ADS Northridge, with offices in Eldoret, covering all the way up to Turkana. We have ADS Central Rift, with offices in Nakuru, covering Nyahururu, Baringo, and Samburu. And then we have ADS Outreach, with offices in Kericho, covering the whole area of Transmara, Kericho, Narok, that area. And then when you go to Nyanza, we have ADS Nyanza, with offices in Kisumu, covering the former Nyanza province. When you come to Mount Kenya, we have 2 ADSs. We have ADS Mount Kenya East, with offices in Kerugoya, covering all the way to Marsabit, and that upper part of Mount Kenya. And we have ADS Mount Kenya, with offices in Nyeri, covering the whole of central Mount Kenya, including Thika. And then we have ADS Nairobi, Kajiado. We normally call it Nika. Then we have ADS Eastern, where we are, and we have ADS Pwani, covering the former Coastal province. So we are 10 in the country. And these 10 organizations are coordinated by a secretariat, which is domiciled at the Bishop's office. Now, this secretariat is normally been registered also with the name of ADS Kenya. And their role is to coordinate the regions. By coordination, as directors, we meet every quarter. And the reason for our meeting as directors, we meet to share experiences. We need also to share context, because these organizations are context specific. And the issues affecting us in NDSC are not the same issues affecting NDS1. And therefore, we need quarterly to share these experiences in terms of what is happening. We also meet quarterly to share our reports, so that the NDS Kenya Secretariat can compile a report which can be shared with the office of the Archbishop in terms of what the church is doing when it comes to community reach. These organizations, ADS, all of them have been registered. And the registration is under the Companies Act. So we are regulated by the Registrar of Companies. That means by the Companies Law, we have to abide by it. Abiding by it means at the end of the year, we normally do what is called annual returns to the Registrar of Companies, in addition to the annual filings which we do to KRI and other government frameworks. So basically, that is now the global picture, the national picture of ADS. Coming home here, we are ADS Eastern. The E denotes the region where we are. And it has come as a history, it has its own history. ADSC was started in 1987. And 1987, that is when the church had started development, and they started a department which was called Christian Community Service. And the Christian Community Service was just a department like Mother's Union, a department like Kama. But this was a department which was reaching out to communities. But then, because of several issues, it continued to evolve until 1985. With the organization, we noted in the region, and therefore when the U to denote the region, that is Okamba Christian Community Service. And Okamba stretches all the way. Those people from that region who are titled it of 1970s, they know Okamba used to stretch all the way from Nairobi up to Uganda. And therefore it was Okamba Christian Community Services. The year 2007, 2008, you all know what happened when it was election round. And then it was a realization of the organization that the name Okamba can sometimes bring an ethnicity connotation. And therefore the board started a journey of rebranding. This coincided with the Anglican Church of Kenya also wanting to rebrand the development agencies. so that they can have a belonging. Because in our region, we have Uganda Christian Community Services. In the Nyanza, we have the Diocesan Christian Community Services. In Eldoret, we have the RECO, Eldoret Region Company, and they were fragmented everywhere. So the church realized the need for them to have a uniformity in terms of identity. And in the year 2011, we had a national conference in Nakuru, where the issue of rebranding started, and we adopted the name of ADS. And that's why we have ADS Eastern, ADS Pan, ADS Northeast, ADS, and all of us are now ADS, and we adopted that name. Now, yes, we have adopted that name, but every organization, I want to repeat again, every organization is autonomous. Autonomous in the sense we are registered, we have our own PIN and a KRN, we have our own certificate and a register of company. And the reason is why we are given autonomy is for us to be in a position to enter into partnerships with other like-minded bodies. So it was to give us that legal mandate. So ADS Eastern covers the area which is covered by the 4 dioceses. That's Machakos, Makueni, Kitui, Garissa. Now these 4 dioceses, they cover 6 counties because Garissa itself has it. And these others, every diocese is covering a county. ADS has a mandate, and the mandate is to share the gospel through social ministry, envisioning a society where all people live spiritually fulfilled and identified lives, and in line with SCK's goals of ministry for a wholesome nation strategy. ADS as a statement of faith, because it's an organization having a relation with the Anglican Church of Kenya, we are led by a statement of faith where we emphasize in honoring both the physical and the spiritual needs of all people. And this is done by treating everyone with love, dignity, and respect. And its vision of ADSC is to be a vibrant organization. And this vibrant organization that transforms communities towards secure, sustainable livelihoods. When we look at our vision, it's two-folded. We are looking inwardly as an organization. That's why we are looking at the vibrancy, a vibrant organization. When the organization is vibrant, then it delivers to the communities for them to have secure, sustainable livelihoods. And this vibrancy is created through having structures in place, having policies in place, and having everything done according to the laid down policies and procedures. ADSC has a number of core values, and these are the core values which normally guide us and make us to be where we are. And these core values are godliness, professionalism, integrity, impartiality, participation, teamwork, and innovation. These and they have shaped our delivery. As an organization, we have ensured these core values are not only written, but they are lived and they shape how we live. And by that I mean, every Monday, we have made it as a tradition. We normally have a morning devotion before we begin the week. Now, these morning devotions, we have normally came up with an activity portal for the staff, so that they can know how to lead a devotion. They can know how to pray. They can know how to praise. Because by the virtue of us being from a faith-based organization, when we attend workshops, we are normally given the role of chaplaincy in those workshops. And therefore, if our staff don't know how to lead these devotions, then it will negate what we stand for. At the same time, we have also come up with a program that at the beginning of every month, the first Monday of every month, we have one of the bishops coming to meet with all the staff. And the essence is, as staff, we normally work with the very poor communities. And as we work with these poor communities, we are faced with so many challenges. And the staff, at sometimes, they need that pastoral care. And therefore, this is done by the bishops who normally come every first Monday of every month. ADSC has interventions on environmental conservation and climate change. And our interventions are based on the context. In the context where we are in, which shapes our thinking and our delivery in terms of how we come up with these interventions. And therefore, we also have issues to do with health and nutrition, food security, water sanitation and hygiene, governance, child protection, gender and social inclusion, institutional development, and social enterprise. Now, this social enterprise, I'll be speaking deeper into it because it's a way of trying to see how ADSC can be vibrant in increasing the vibrance. Let me go into governance because I said we are registered under Companies Act. And by that registration is a requirement that the organization has to be governed. So in terms of our governance, the ADS in the year 2019, the board commissioned a governance audit. And this governance audit was conducted across board. And this governance audit brought up very key issues which has shaped the governance of ADSC up to date. One of it was to create two levels of governance. Previously, we and appointed. Of course, that did not give independence in thought. And the government proposed and recommended that the board of trustees, where the bishops will sit, and this is also in line with our Anglican Church of Kenya structure, where we have lots of bishops. So the bishops will sit at board of trustees. Now, the board of trustees, they will sit there to receive reports on what the ADSC is doing, at the same time having a fellowship with the region as our fathers in God in terms of the direction which the region will take. Currently, we have the 4 bishops, and therefore, I said as I present the report, I'm presenting on ADSC. I'm not telling you what ADSC is. So we have the board of trustees, and our Lord Bishop is a member of the board of trustees. We have the Bishop of Makueni, Bishop Francis Matroy, who is now the chairman of the board of trustees. We have Bishop of Machakos, Bishop Patrick Monove, who is a trustee. You have Bishop of Kitui, Bishop Gedron Moneni, who is also a trustee. And then, according to our resolution, the non-serving bishop in service normally assumes the role of the chairman of the BOT. Previously, we used to have the Bishop of Machakos, Bishop Joseph Mutuntu, as the chair BOT. Upon his retirement, the other non-serving bishop was Bishop of Makueni, who is now the chairman board of trustees. Now, this board of trustees, they have a secretary, a trustee secretary who is a lawyer. So normally when they are meeting the 4 bishops, together with the trustee secretary, then the CEO and the chairman of the board are normally invited to come and make reports. So the board of trustees sits down and with recommendations from the management, which is led by the CEO, depending on our strategic direction, they put in place board of directors. Now, this board of directors is composed of 9 members. Now, the 9 members, every diocese brings on board 2 people. And these 2 people are dependent on what the trustees decide and agree. That yes, Garissa, you are going to bring on board an agricultural expert or a water engineer. The 3 you are going to bring. So they discuss as board of trustees based on the requirements that we present to them. So currently, when they bring the 2, that is 8. Then the trustees sit down and they appoint a chairman who is a sign of national unity, not representing any particular diocese. But when these board of directors are nominated from the diocese, using the diocesan leadership processes, they come to the board of trustees as a unit. And the board of trustees, through the chair BOT, will appoint them. So they are nominated by the diocesan synod, and when they come to the BOT, they are appointed by the BOT. So the board of directors who are there, they have a letter signed by the chair, BOT. And by the time the board was convened, the chair BOT was Joseph Mutungi, Bishop Emeritus. So they have a letter signed by Bishop Joseph Mutungi with a tenure of office. Our memo at that course specifies the tenure of office to be years. Now, at the third AGM, Bishop, the board directors retired, but then they offered themselves for election, not for more than a further one term. So, a member cannot serve for a maximum of 6 years. And from Garissa, we have the Honorable George, who is serving, and now he's serving the second year. We had Ominde, who came from Garissa. At that time, was given an appointment and now serving the third year. The third year. So those are the two members. Yeah. I'm being told in the 50th year, but it's the third year, because by that time, when he was in the board cannot be convened using the governance audit, which was done in 2019. And when we did the governance audit, there was a recommendation, which was to refine and review the memo and articles. And after reviewing the memo and articles, we registered the memo and articles with the registrar of companies, which was actually finalized in 2023. So the board which was there between 2019 and 2023 was in board. And therefore the board was confirmed in 2023. And the letter which they have was signed in 2023 to go for 3 years. And so that's how the board is. And every now since we have the two directors, and after every third AGM, for example now the AGM which is coming, they will retire. And when they retire, the diocese leadership will be given another opportunity to do nomination again, and the members will come to the BOT and they will be appointed by the Board of Trustees. Then the other governance structure, what the Board of Trustees does after putting the board in place, the role of the Board of Trustees is to oversight agency. And this oversight is done through policy formulation. There is nothing that we do as management which has no policy direction. And the policy direction is normally given by the Board of Directors. The Board of Directors operates in two committees. We have Staff and Programs Committee. And the Staff and Programs Committee is concerned with issues to do with HR matters. Then we have the programmatic side of the committee, the responsibility, which is to ensure all our program design, is based on the context where we are. Then the other committee is Finance Committee, and then Ominde is in the Staff and Programs Committee. The other committee is Finance Committee, where the Honorable George sits. Now this committee has 4 functions. The first function is to do resource mobilization. When we do any proposal, we normally table with the committee. When this money comes, it is the committee which oversees how the money is being utilized. And how do they do that? They do that through commissioning of audits. We have what we call financial management audits, which are normally done by the committee. And all these reports are looked by the committee and then to the board. The other function which they do is the issue of tender and procurement. In our policies, anything which is above 4,000 shillings is a matter of the board, and that is done through the finance committee. Anything below 400,000 is a matter of management, which you normally do. So tender and procurement is the role of finance committee on behalf of the board. The other function is resource mobilization. This is the committee which looks into how the organization is going to become vibrant, how the organization is going to fit in the ever-changing donor space. So those are the functions of the finance committee, and they normally meet quarterly. Every quarter they must meet, because when they meet, they come up with the reports,
and the reports are taken to the board of directors, which also means quarterly. Now, this board, when they compile their report, it goes to the board of trustees, and the board of trustees they meet twice per year. After the board of trustees meets twice per year, the issues are taken to the annual general meeting, which normally meets once per year. And in every diocese, we have 8 members who normally come to the AGM. Now, these 8 members include the bishop and the two directors who come to the board of directors. Then after this meeting, we have other 5 members who have been nominated by the diocesan synods. And from Garissa, we normally have yeah, these are the members who normally come to the AGM. Yeah, so these are the members who represent you in the annual general meeting of AGS. They come to Amunyu, they meet with the others from the other 3 dioceses. And together with all of them, they form what is called AGM. Now, in this AGM, we invite the bishop emeritus, including the archbishop. And the reason that's why we do this is for the bishop emeritus and the archbishop to check whether we are seeing the vision which they crafted, because it's them who came up with this organization. And we normally meet with them during AGM, and we share a lot of activities. And therefore, that is the governance structure. The remaining part is the management, which I normally chair. And this management, I'm supported. I have a deputy CEO and I'm departmental heads, and then we are supported by staff with hands-on skills. Currently, we have around 100 staff, and these 100 staff are spread everywhere in the 4 dioceses. Here in Garissa, I have Stephen Muli, who is the project manager of the project we are doing here. Now, in the previous diocesan synod, Muli has been coming to make presentations on what is happening in Garissa. And Muli is supported by other 2 staff. And the 2 staff are from Muslim community. And the reason is we are deeper into the Muslim communities, and it was a requirement from our partners that we need of people who can really understand what is happening, because this is also an area where people need to be to know what's happening. Now, ADSC in terms of its strategic focus, I don't know how many the time I have. Thank you. In terms of our strategic focus, ADSC is structured into 3 distinct departments. One of the departments is programs, and these are programs which are funded by donors, partners. We have entered into partnerships with the different organizations who have our thinking and who are seeing life the same together with us. So these partnerships have resulted into several projects, and I'll be giving the projects which are here in Garissa, in Garissa. And the whole essence for the program is to work with communities. As NDSs, all the 10 NDSs are talked about, we are pro-poor communities, and it's a way of the church to reach out to the communities. So we reach out to the communities regardless of their faith, regardless of their religious affiliations, because we know all people are created by God. But we do this for even the people who don't go to church, so that at the end of it, they can see the love of Christ and they change their way of living. We are here in Garissa, getting to the Muslim communities. When we go to them, we pray. We ask them to give us opportunity to pray for them. After we pray for them, they also pray. And through what we do, we are sure God is working through what we do, because they see the love of Christ in what we do. In the former, with the Bishop Emeritus, when you used to go to Sanduri, the people could say Christopuma Amekute. Christopuma Amekute. Now with that, there is a recognition that what we are doing because of Christ who has sent us.
to work with them. In the Anglican Church, and in terms of development, we are one of the fastest growing region when it comes to structure and when it comes to working. And as a result of this, we have been selected by the province to host sort of people to come and learn from us. For instance, we were selected to host the Anglican Church of Uganda when they came here last year, and they want to go and structure their development like the development in Anglican Church of Kenya. So they came to ADSC, and I hosted a delegation of 50 members from the Anglican Church of Uganda. And after taking them through what we do and with the communities, we went to the province to meet with the Archbishop. We have also been selected by the Anglican Board of Mission Australia to accompany their project which they are doing in the Eldoret Diocese, SC Eldoret Diocese, to accompany them in a project which they are doing. We have also been selected to host other ADS Board of Directors to come to where we are to learn in terms of the governance structure that we are making. And as such, we have hosted the Board of Directors of ADS Western. We have hosted the Board of Directors of ADS Mount Kenya. We are preparing to host the Board of Directors of ADS Pwani to come and learn with us in terms of what's happening. In every year, all the directors and the chairman of the Board of Directors will meet. We meet with the Archbishop in a forum where we normally share what we are doing. The last meeting was January this year. And when we meet, we normally make presentations. So when ADSC made our presentation, it was made as a solution that all the other regions need to embrace the entire governance structure, where we have the BOT, the Board of Directors, and the management. And that is what is happening. We have been requested as a region to prepare a presentation where all the other directors and chairmen of the board will be coming for us to present in terms of the pros and cons of the entire governance structure. In terms of infrastructure, where we have offices in Wamunyu, it's not a rented place. It's a place we purchased and constructed your offices. We have also a bakery structure, which we are doing in Wamunyu, and the essence of the bakery is to increase the vibrancy of ADSC. We have a 32-acre piece of land in a place called Somunyu Ketri, and the whole essence is looking into how we can continue doing ministry. And we have a power in the office. Yeah, the first one is programs. So I was explaining the program. Yes, so the program is one, the other is Anglican, and the other is Impansi Circle. Now, in terms of allow me as I go to what you are doing in Garissa, allow me to mention something about Impansi Circle, because I have members here. You have members here. Now, for the longest time, when we used to go to the communities, we are working with the poor communities. We realized these communities, they need access to credit to adopt the technologies we are passing on to them. These are communities without collateral. And therefore, what we did is we operated a circle, called Impansi Circle, promoted by AGSC, but owned by the members. Currently, we started in 2017, and now we have members close to 5,000. And we have a total asset value of around 63 million. And we normally give loans. We are then like to check with the dioceses and the staff, and we are looking forward to beginning deposit taking microfinance for the church in this region. And that's where we are going. I talked about the social enterprise. Of course, I'm rushing so that I can go to what we are doing here in Garissa. The other is we have tents, we are hiring, so that we can increase our vibrance of the organization. We have a bakery, which we have established in the office, an investment of 40 million, and currently we are doing 80,000 pieces of bread per day. And we have 3 trucks of lorries which normally go on. This bread is enriched with amaranth. It's an essence of us trying to feed in the space of malnutrition. Because we realize every morning, people have a tendency of going to the nearby kiosk. You buy bread for your breakfast, but what you are taking is only wheat and a yeast. But wanting to increase value into that, so we enrich with amaranth. The other thing we are doing, we have a bowl in the office, and this bowl is a high yield bowl with 150 liters, and we're looking forward to packaging the water and taking out. Coming to Garissa here, in the diocese. When Garissa became a diocese, we had a lot of struggles with the board. And thank you so much, Lekan and Mungo here. They did a lot of work in terms of ensuring projects come to Garissa. And in the year 2018, we got one of our partners, the Baptist Church in Australia. And this Baptist Church in Australia partnered with us in a project called Garissa Livelihood Improvement Project. Now this Garissa Livelihood Improvement Project is being implemented in the Samburu ward, Laya, in Laya. And with this project, we are reaching out to communities, the poor communities. Currently, the projects are running from 2018 to June 2025 this year, and we reached around 9,775 members. So with these members, we did a lot of governance and social inclusion, ensuring women are allowed to lead groups and they are empowered to talk and their voices heard. We did a lot of child protection issues and disability support. We did this through reaching out to 3,147 children and enabling access to disability grants, which was worth 300,000 shillings. We also did a lot of livelihoods improvement for orphans, widows, vulnerable, and disability groups through national distribution and income generating support. We are looking at the excluded people so that we can bring them for so that their voice can also be heard. We did a lot of agricultural productivity, and through this we are working with the communities which are along the Tana River. And we did a lot of farmer trainings to those funds. I can stand here and authoritatively say most of the bananas which are being eaten here are coming as a result of our projects in Tana here. And we brought them together as cooperatives, and they are doing a lot of banana production. If I was doing a PowerPoint presentation, I would show you all those. Then we did a lot of water and irrigation. But for water and irrigation, we brought women together who were in a cup of milk value chain. And already at Raya, we have the Raya women whom we supported with a milk dispenser. And they are collecting milk and irrigating cup of milk, doing value addition and selling so they can get money. We did a lot of water intervention. And this water intervention, we are looking at how these communities will get safe water. And we did this through having elevated water tanks. We did this through renovating wells in Iraya. We did this through putting in place installing pure water tanks. And also we did a lot of canal. We did 7 canals from Tana expanding to taking water to the communities. And these canals are working. They are working. The communities are using this water. During COVID-19, the partners supported us to respond to this COVID menace in the year 2020, and we targeted 5,600 beneficiaries, and this was through, of course, awareness, hygiene, promotion, and distribution of protective supplies. And through this, we managed, of course, to some extent contain the spread of COVID. When this project ended in June 2025, we discussed with the partner, and the partner agreed to renew the project for another 6 years. And this is the first year. So we are now in the first year, and this project will run up to 2030. And of course, we are targeting 12,806 direct and indirect beneficiaries. So already we have started community engagement with the communities there. And our process is normally very rigorous in terms of engaging communities. There are participatory tools which we normally take with them for them to identify who the poor people are based on their context. And then it's these poor people who come and enjoy with issues to do with climate change issues, doing a lot of empowerment to improve livelihoods, security, and water access. We also train a lot of 812 agro-pastoralists, and these are currently applying modern farming because we wanted to introduce agronomy to these communities. They are currently doing it, and it is through the same project which we did this bore which is here. And this bore here is the 1 cubic meters, but the water has a lot of salt. So we are working with another partner from US called Xylem. Xylem is another company in the US, and we are working with them so that we can have a water district office. That house is for that project, and that is where the water desalination equipment will be brought. The reason as why this has not come, the Xylem, they wanted to get a current water analysis, but we realized there was a problem here with the switch. So we had to organize, and we installed another switch, another pump. They pumped the water, we got a sample, and the sample has to be taken to a laboratory analysis in Nairobi. When this analysis is out, we are going to work with Xylem so that the water desalination equipment can come, and the whole concept is when this water is desalinated, the dioxins can utilize it, can package, and can use that as an income generating project. And that is what we are looking forward to ensuring the dioxins. In addition to those other income generating projects you have alluded to, this can also be another income generating project. In
the interest of time,
yes.
Do we know how much time you still require?
I'm almost finishing. I'm at the so like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes. So I'm concluding. And sorry for that, our annual turnover is like for this year. It's around 375 million. So I'm presenting an organization in what grant within that period. So apologies for taking a lot of time. And so to in terms of here in Garissa, we have spent the Garissa Livelihood Improvement Project for the 6 years. It was a total of 213 million, which has gone to the communities in Sangule ward. In terms of profit, it was 2 million, and also the Cornerstone Trust, it was 14 million, and the current project, which we are doing with time, that is the Baptist World Church in Australia, is around 142 million for 6 years. So, in conclusion, we thank God for the 5 years brought us, and for the smooth transition He has provided for ADSE. We also express our gratitude for the graduate for the new bishop and the environment he has created for us, so that the work of Christ can continue. We believe that moving forward, the growth and development of the church will be evident to its members, and that livelihoods will improve for the better, furthering the church's ministry. We continue to seek your support through prayers and political goodwill as we reach out to the most vulnerable communities within this region, of whom God has called us to serve. What we are doing God's service, and we normally take it as a calling. we don't take it as a probation. Because if it's a probation, we would want from 8 to 4, but if you come to the office at around 9, you'll still need to start there working because it's a common. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, CEO, for that wonderful and much detailed presentation from your annual report. Members, we therefore put it before you to adopt the presentation. Let us have a proposer and a second to it. Agama? 418. Second. Thank you, my brother. Agama? 428. Secondly. Thank you so much. May we get the reactions, questions, comments, observations, clarifications? Questions? I see quite a number. Let's start from the back. Let's start with the Mzee. Ben, there's a question.
Thank you for allowing me to be here. My concern is, he has not explained to us where he's getting the resources. Because what you have explained, you have not told us resources we are getting from which donor and how much. Secondly, you have talked to Kanisa. You have spent 230 million. Can you say to us? Because the Christians who are here, they are not benefiting at all. And you are using the name of Christian. That's a serious issue. I would like you to explain to us because you cannot use our name. The beneficiaries are from other denominations, other religions. Please, but the donors you have talked of, you have talked of, there are two donors you have talked about. How much have they funded us?
Thank you. Next. Yes, Jorale Malu.
I'm Jorge, member of the CK. I have several questions. One, financial loss of the trade of selectives and coding division. Also, you are saying the next phase of project implementation is on the first year, and the total population, according to previous data which you presented about the beneficiaries, already you have reached more than 80%, which means if you are you going to implement the same intervention, or you have changed the methodology of implementing? The other issue about the water. This borehole was done almost 1 year ago, and you are saying you have taken water for analysis. I've done water analysis through the government. I think it took 2 weeks maximum. What is the delay? Also, I want to know the budget allocation for Garissa diocese from the bigger budget from the whole ABC. Also, I want to know your coordination with the both national government and the government, because I'm part of the several technical working groups. I have not seen your visibility in those technical working groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Panacea. Thank you so much for you to respond, or we can still take some.
Yes. I'm Charles. I say that you have employed about 100. Among the ones who applied, employed, how many have come from Christians from Garissa diocese? I mean Christians. Also, I think a project of 200 million is a big project. I think a big project next time come with a purpose, so that when you say you have done a project at Shankuri, where don't you know of 200 million, when you show us here, we are going to evaluate and say these people are genuine
or they are not detained. We have seen governors go to the Senate, ask questions, but they produce nothing. So, this year, where I work, I was mentioned in the Senate. I have been provided the ABCD for some 3 years, and I have never been provided. How do you know that this one you are saying 200 million is there or not there?
Any other question? He says he will take all the questions and respond. It's here. Then.
Yes, thank you. I would like to ask that these projects should only cover Garissa only, and not, as you have said, the other two counties. Because as I can hear, you are just renewed a contract to continue benefiting the people of Garissa county, and you are not considered the others. And also, in addition to that, where is now the Christian or the church in the whole of the picture? Like, where does the Anglican Church of Garissa Diocese feature in all this? And is there any way now we can begin now from the parish level going up, such that if you are bringing it here, then we can say that we are beginning from this. This is our station, and this is where we want to be, so that we can sell from there. Thank you.
Any other question? So you can respond to that. See it. As you respond, I also had maybe an emphasis to make that, how do you say, you have employees, they are chosen from the local, which is okay. I also know that that's in line with what they are saying. Some of us are also born here and they understand the language very well and they can speak one language. And this is ours. So have that in mind.
Thank you so much for these questions. This is an indication that we are very keen. And you see, there was a time I was a teacher. So if you have a lesson and the student don't ask the questions, it's either they have understood or they have not. But now for you asking the question, it means you are very attentive, which for me is very good. This is our outfit, which we need to understand fully. And the reason is when we are here is for you to ensure you understand it. Then there was a question on resources, which donor and how much. I don't know whether it is the donor for here or the donors for ADSC. Probably I can get clarification on that. ADSC. The one of ADSC. Okay, thank you. As ADSC, we have partnerships with organizations who give us money from Australian government. Australian government, they formed what is called Australian NGO Cooperation Program. It falls under the Ministry of their Foreign Affairs, which is called DFAT, Department for Aid and Trade, DFAT, and they have ANCP. Now, the government of Australia, with that program, they have accredited NGOs in Australia. Now, these NGOs, when they are accredited, they form partnerships with the overseas agencies. Now, these partnerships in overseas agencies, for them to form this agreement and to get into the marriage, we normally say the MOU. And the MOU, and some of the issues are that will not discriminate. Will not discriminate. Will work with anyone. And we have a set criteria, which we are looking to respond to that question. And that's why the selection, the criteria which we normally use is a criteria which we have set down. We have agreed at the board. It has gone to the board of trustees, and after that approval is the one which we use to enter into memorandum of understanding with these partners. So in Australia, we have two agencies. We have the Anglican Church of Australia. They have an international agency called Anglicans in Development. They contribute money, and the money comes to us to development. We have the Baptist Church of Australia. They have an agency called Transformation International, and they get money from the government. Money comes to us, and we come to do development. It is Transformation International who has given us money from Australian government to come to Garissa. They have given us that money because we have demonstrated capacity, accountability, and transparency based on the systems and the procedures which are in place. They have come here, they normally send their auditors and their finance managers. After every 4 or 5 months, they come to interact with our systems. And it is through that we have managed to win their trust, and they can give us money. One of the things is when you go to Australian government website, some of the areas where they are not supposed to go, including their staff, one of them is Garissa. And from the time they funded us, they have been using local organizations here to come and do monitoring on their behalf. They have never came here. And based on that, and based on the trust they have on us, they have given us way to come and implement here, where they cannot themselves come here. So those are two. We also get money from German government. And we get money from BMZ, which is German government, through Bread for the World. And Bread, they have come, they have looked at our systems, and they are convinced. We have worked with them and worked with them since 1987. And we are still working with them. We get money from other friends from Italy. They normally give us money to implement projects on their behalf. I used to get money from USA. But of course, you know what happened with USA. But I'm getting money from our partners, Quarter Alongside Hope in the US. So our role is to do resource mobilization. I normally move out as a CEO to do partnerships with organizations. This last week, Wednesday, I was invited in Antina by one of our partners called Chris and to go and make a presentation and to give a keynote address to all their partners in this country. And therefore, we work with partners who are like-minded and we form partnerships. I hope I have answered the resources. That's where they come from. And all of us, including you, that's when, in conclusion, I said we are looking for the goodwill from you and also support through prayers. Part of the goodwill is for you to connect us with the people who can finance us. Once you connect us, we shall go out and meet with them and develop those proposals, and we shall bring the projects here. And then the other is the issue of what? Garissa and the communities. Where the project is here and is not here in the church. One of the things, as I said, in terms of this development, and I wish next time I'll come with a PowerPoint presentation so that I can present one of the MOUs and the project agreement that we have with the partner. There are several boxes which we tick. And one of the boxes is non-discrimination. They also know that we are a faith-based organization. And if we are not checked, this money can go to our people and deny deserving people support. The reason is very simple. The money which we have comes from taxpayers from those countries, and not necessarily from our church. And therefore, as a result of that, those people want accountability in terms of who are the people who have been served. How did you select them? Which process did you follow? And before any proposal is approved, we must share that. If we in any way show any iota of discrimination, the proposal will be funded. And we shall deny many communities support.
So we take it as an outreach to communities outside there. It is the Anglican Church of Kenya which is reaching out to those communities. And this is what we are doing with those partners. And that is why we have managed to be funded. Because the money is going to communities regardless of discrimination. Regardless of discrimination. And that's why we find ourselves in where we are. If I had the opportunity, by the way I'm standing here, my mother walks several kilometers for access water. But I'm doing canal extension in Saluki here. And I cannot do it to my mother. When I go home, I use the money I'm paid as a salary to pay workers to go and fetch water for my mother. Why? Because I have to fit in this space. These are not people who need support. And you have been given the space by God at a time like this one to reach out to them. The issue of criteria of selection and methodology, who you can speak to that? Shortly. I can answer what.
Yeah, thank you very much. One of the areas that we use is use of identifying communities, process of poverty index and working with the county government and local stakeholders who are. So when we were coming to Garissa, we engaged the local leadership and the communities and stakeholders through the Office of County Commissioner and the different departments. So we conducted PTCS, that is participatory vulnerability capacity assessment in two locations of Sanguri and Malawat. And through stakeholder engagement, we were able to settle to Sanguri and that location. That is where the project started. Then on the issue of participating or partnering with the government, we are in several technical working groups. Like tomorrow, we are hosting 16 days of data activism with the data technical working group. We also participate in the code sharing group, among others. We work with the relevant departments, agriculture, livestock, water, education, for technical backstopping when we are implementing our project initiatives.
So thank you so much. Probably after this, my brother, we will have a discussion in terms of which technical working group you are in. Yes,
Yes, please. Any partner who have not sent the law, have you seen that message? Yes, you have seen the message and part of this working group. After even if you recall very well last year, we were organized as one of the best partners.
And I have a certificate in the Office of Reconciliation.
This is not about the reason why I'm asking because there's a lot of things which are happening in the county and national government, and if we follow, it can bring problem to the whole ADS. If you are not supporting to the relevant stakeholders in the county and key stakeholders. I know you are working with the profession. I understand because 2 weeks, 3 months, 1 month ago, they asked me for whether I know where you can get an office. And that is when, for most years, I came to know ADS. The reason why I'm asking is how we can strengthen the Synod and helping the community. Because when you are saying you're working Sankuri, and the population of Sankuri is 26,000. 26. Can you imagine the margin of money that using that within 26,000? That is projection of 2024, which means when you started, you used the data for 2011, which was 11,000, which means we need. The reason why I'm saying is about accountability and for the benefit of the community. Also, when you are saying issue of livelihood, you have in Sankuru, you have a lot of donors who have a lot of money in those areas. Actually, we have the same project with another one, but instead of going to Sankuru, we went to Body Forest. Why? because after doing the intervention, unazoeana na community and other they are in need. Currently, you have brothers and sisters from other part of the county, like the refugees there. Actually, they need more than these people in this area. That is why they are not arguing. This is how we can improve working together and increase visibility of all these projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bishop. I think we will engage because from your point of discussion, I think you need to have I think your engagement with my project manager is here. Yeah, because we are working with we cannot survive in Garissa if we are not working with the county government. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. I request the bishop because there are many and the time is also the staff. The issue of the staff. There is one who asks about the staffing and how many people are from the Christians in Garissa. One of the things when I started presentation, I said we are a well-resourced in terms of policy, organization in terms of policy. We have policies when it comes to recruitment. We have policies when it comes to placement. Yeah? And even if you ask me, for instance, how many staff are coming from Makueni down, I will not be able to tell you. Or Kitri, I will not be able to tell you. Because normally what we do is when there is a vacancy, we normally advertise. And when we advertise, we employ people based on professionalism. When you come to ADSC, I have people from Nyanza, I have people from Mount Kenya, I have people from the coast. We employ based on professionalism. So if we advertise and there are people who are qualified, please encourage them to apply. If they convince the panel that they can deliver, who shall pick up? We shall pick them. So we normally advertise, and when we advertise, we do recruitment in a thorough process because our processes are normally audited. We have an auditor who comes to audit the organization after every 1 year. And that report must go to the committee of finance, has to go to the board, has to go to the trustees. We have donors who normally send their project managers and their specific auditors. So we do the organizational audit, we do project audits, and we normally do system audits. So all these procedures and the systems are audited. And if we don't demonstrate the capacity to ensure that we show impartiality, which is one of our core values, then as an ADSC, we shall not survive in this space. Thank you so much for that.
Don't go away. We don't go away. I learned that you are the man on the ground. And I have not seen you. It's 6 months. Just some months. Now put your foot on fire. I realized really don't seem convinced. And people still have more questions. If we make ADS the issue, we will not do the thing that brought us here. I want to agree that even in selection, one look at policies that guide. But the problem that we're having is that the tool omits us. Just note it. The tool that has been used is correct, but it doesn't capture the people who compose the Anglican Church in the region. I would encourage that maybe you think through your policy tools. And as you rightly said, when you look at fairness, there's also what we call affirmative action. You can't just blindly say that.
And when people say affirmative action, you always want to say, can we? And sometimes rule are overruled and everyone understands that. I have a motion also about this that will be coming after our break. And I wish you start to hear how people argue. I have my own reservations for those of mine. But I'm father of all. I'm father of 8 years and I'm your father too. So I must listen and allow you to talk to each other. If you go, let me stay. Because you can't come and go with me. Because I want you to hear what these people are saying. Okay? So let's have tea, then let's hear what these people are saying, and then let's report that. I didn't want that to listen. Okay? So, see, that's better. So you can call your questions better. Over tea and the rest. You heard what they're saying, and you hear what we're doing. We are not left orphans. Okay? If this way is not working, we will always find another way. And so let us together sit and find a way that is common for us. And if we can't, then it's not difficult to find another way to help ourselves. I'm very grateful to our chairman and the panelists for your presentations. I'm very enriched, and I see we are going somewhere. I hope you can join and tell us to go for tea. Because I had people wanting to ask questions and so forth. When we ask these things, when people say it's done on, when you claim to be a Christian organization and your fellow Christians don't feel you accompanying them, it's something that we will be sensitive to. I think the sensitivities of the people here who have been, who have been overlooked by the locals. What projects you're doing are happening every day here, but everything passes us. So when we come and see our own is also passing us, you can get the cry that we have. I want to encourage that we now have discussion. Mr. Chairman, sorry for interjecting, but we're going to take to entertain.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lord Bishop, for your guidance. Members will be guided by our Lord Bishop that we now need to take a break for tea. I hope it will be a short break, probably 30 minutes most. I'm guided on that. And then we'll be back for more other sessions.
20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. I'm guided. I'm told it's 20 minutes. Right?
The usual place, okay? Let's go direct.
Okay. I'm told we'll be going to the place we took our lunch for the tea. Therefore, members, the session stands adjourned.